Hey, what's up? Good to see you guys. So today we're going to be doing something special. And the reason for it is because we're going to be celebrating my birthday. Yeah, today is my 30th birthday. I am officially old.
Today is my 111th birthday. I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve.
But that being said, guys, one thing that is going on that I kind of see happening a lot when it comes to craftsmen or when it comes to makers or fabricators is we make beautiful things for other people, but we never really make anything for ourselves, right? For instance, I have a friend who is a fabrication guy. He has made some of the fanciest staircases, fences, all sorts of crazy stuff all over California. But for some reason, when you go to his house, his fence is latched together with screw welded on a post. And, it seems to be like a lot of the craftsmen who do that stuff sell the nice stuff. So I wanted to do something a little bit special and make myself something. So we are going to be making me a knife today, but it's going to be a special knife. It's going to be made out of this. Now, this is a copper pipe. But Jake, I thought copper would make a terrible knife. You are correct, other Jake. Copper does not hold an edge. It's a very soft steel. It's a very highly conductive steel, and it has a very low melting point considerably. So what we're actually going to do is We're going to forge weld it into what's called a Cu-Mai Damascus. Now, Cu-Mai, something a lot of people do not know, is Cu-Mai is not Japanese. It's not a Japanese word. Q is the periodic table lettering for copper, Cu-Mai. So instead of Sanmai, which is a 3-layer Damascus, Go-Mai, which is a 5-layer Damascus, Cu-Mai is just copper layered Damascus. Now, I've practiced this a few times already, but we're gonna go ahead and make a new one today. So let's go ahead and chop this up and we'll get to work. Alrighty then, guys. So here is our billet, and we finally have the annealing done. That's one thing about annealing that I definitely don't love, is it takes a long time. So if you could do the work in one day, you got to take a 2-hour break. I guess it's a good lunch break activity, but I usually start late so it's not so hot outside.
Really, really hot.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grind off all these edges of the weld, right? Get all that bad steel out of there, the mild steel. We're gonna clean up this surface with the flap wheel, and then we're gonna scribe on our design. Now, as far as designs go, I had a couple of ideas. Let me show them to you real quick. All right, so here's what I was thinking. Either one Warncliffe cleaver type pocket carry like this, or maybe one of these Hawksbill style knives. This one has a nice straight edge on it, and this one has a little bit more curve up towards the tip. I kind of like the Warncliffe a little bit better, so I think that's the one I'm going to make today. And this one I'll have to make in a different build. So we're going to do the Warncliffe today, and you might be thinking, but Jake, why don't you forge it to shape like like you would normally do? Great question, and the reason why is because of the copper. So if you get it up a little too hot and forge it to shape, the copper just kind of blasts out and it goes everywhere. So you have to do a stock removal when it comes to Cu-Mai. Yeah, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with stock removal. That's what we're going to be doing right now. Our heat treat and tempering cycles are all done. We have a nice straw color going throughout the blade. You can see that copper popping out. Man, that looks pretty. So what we're gonna go ahead and do now is do some finishing grinds all the way up to a 600 grit. Then we're gonna dunk it in the acid etch and start to work on the handles. I'm really excited for the etch on this, so let's go get to work. Okay, so we're polished up and the knife is looking nice and shiny. There's some scratch marks, but that's okay. In the etch, that'll come out. And if it doesn't, then we're gonna hand sand it and then etch it again. But now we're picking hand materials, and I'm thinking this nice mother of pearl kieranite is gonna be some really pretty stuff on this blade. So what I'm gonna do is line it up real quick, just like that, and then trace around. Now we have one handle done, and using that, we are here where now we've got a very, very shiny blade. Here we are after our handle glue up with that mother of pearl. I think it looks gorgeous on this blade. We'll have a good close-up later. But yeah, the acid etch actually did not come out how I wanted it to. I don't know if there's a problem with my ferric or what, but I think just leaving it just like that for now will be nice. So we're gonna go ahead and get to our final piece of this puzzle, the part I've been waiting for, sharpening and test cuts. And then once we get all of that done, it's gonna go into the Kydex sheath that we made. I didn't really make a video recording that part, but I'll tell you what, we got a lot more content coming in the future. So we'll go ahead and do a video on making Kydex sheaths and kind of my learning curve with it, and the process that I'm having to come up with until I could get an actual Kydex press. So that being said, let's sharpen this up and do some test cuts. All right, well, that's it for the Cu-Mai build. I think it's time for some test cuts. So let's just go ahead and take a look and see how this little Wharncliffe is performing. Now, oh yeah, that's very nice. So I think this will end up being my everyday carry knife for a while, for probably a long time. Now, the model that I've decided, let's see if it's whittling. Yeah, biting into my nails. I could cut some fish here, but I just shaved and I'm not cutting the mustache, so that's all we got for today, guys. I've decided I've decided that I am going to be calling this model of Cu-Mai knives the DRA-CU copper-1A. So spelled out on your computer will say Dracula. I don't know why, I just think it's cool. And if you guys think it's cool, I'm actually going to be posting these on my Etsy shop. So if you would like to purchase one of these knives, guys, I will make them in any different ways with customization options. You can always order on my Etsy shop or go to the Instagram and just shoot me a DM. Say, Jake, I would love to have one of your DRA-CU-1A knives, or any knife that I make. I make a lot of different knives. I make a lot of excellent Santoku, bunka, kiritsuke, and French style chef knives. That's what I'm really good at, as well as the kukris. I can't forget about those. But guys, I will make anything that you would like to see. Just shoot me a DM and we'll get you guys figured out. Now, before we go, thank you so much for sticking around until the end. Next week, what we're going to be doing, well, I guess I really haven't decided what we're going to be doing next week, but I'm thinking we're going to make something a little bit bigger. So the sword build, probably going to take a lot of time to do this one, just because it is a massive project, and I really, what do I want to say here? I want to take my time on this one and make it nice. Like I said, this is a sword for me. This is going to be my sword. I might not even film this one, but I'll tell you what, if you guys want it, I'll do an entire sword build coming up. And not only that, guys, but we do have an interview with another knife maker coming up, guys. His name is Bernard. He is a Walloon, and he is great. Awesome knife maker. Some of the most beautiful kitchen knives, and what are those things called? The differential hardening, the Japanese one, whatever. Guys, he is awesome. So that is going to be posted probably sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe the next month, just because there's so much footage to edit there. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you guys think of this DRA-CU-1A build. Thank you and peace.